Hi there, my name is Eli, and welcome back to my channel, Draculaura. And in today's video, I wanted to do a doll collector weekly recap, talking about all of the things that I've been kind of working on this past week as far as dolls go. So first off, I did a doll hunt and picked up some brand new dolls that I want to share with you. And I did get some footage of me, perusing through Target, Walmart. I went to Ross, which is a big hint as to what dolls I got. And then I also want to show off some of the customs that I've done. I've been doing a lot of customizing, so I did a brand new Reroot for a Draculaura doll that I will share with you, as well as I think I curled some hair and painted lots and lots of doll accessories. So I want to share all of the custom work that I've done. And then lastly, I want to talk about some, doll news. There were some announcements as far as new dolls coming out that I'm interested in, and I want to share my thoughts on them, whether I'm going to pick them up or not. So, it's kind of a various smorgasbord of topics. I have a lot I want to discuss, and none of them really fit into their own video. So this is going to be just one big video all about dolls. And we're going to start it off with my doll hunt. So let's get started. Okay, I checked Ross today and they had the Girls Night Out dolls. They have Sasha and Yasmin, and so I'm picking up one of each. I never got these in store, so I'm happy to find them here. And I checked yesterday. Well, I didn't check, my boyfriend did, but they didn't have any, so I'm happy to see them. Yay! Okay, so I did hit up a Target and it was pretty lackluster and boring. Target has just been flopping all year. Other than Venus McFlytrap, who they got first back in January, they've just been getting no new releases whatsoever. Their doll section has been very, very stale, and yeah, it just kind of sucks. And here's the thing, I don't really pledge any corporate allegiance to any of these corporations. Target, Walmart, Amazon, I think they're all corrupt and evil, but they sell dolls, so I'm going to go there and purchase said dolls. And this is more so me observing what's happening as far as accessibility for dolls this year. And I bought some paint from Michael's for a project, so that was me stopping by Michael's. Here's a little paint section. And then I hit up Walmart, and their clearance section was pretty big. It was just a lot of junk and things I don't need nor care about, but it was really full, and I don't really see this often, and it was kind of organized, which was nice. Not a lot of fashion dolls. I think they just had a little Chelsea doll in a juice box. I don't know, what is that, the pop reveal or something? I don't know. Yeah, there it is. That's the only thing I saw. And then JoJo Siwa, which I don't care about. So yeah, dolls are pretty stale for clearance at Walmart, but the main section was looking great, and most everyone's Walmarts have been looking this stocked and full. And it's just so strange to see Walmart on top with getting all of these new releases like Monster Fest and some of the refreshed looks for Lagoona and Frankie, and then Caddy Noir. I still haven't seen Caddy Noir in person. I ordered mine online, but where I'm at, I haven't seen her anywhere, so either she's just slow to arrive or selling out. And then look at this Frankie. What happened to them? Their hair is wild. Someone probably bought it, returned it because they felt the polypropylene hair and said, nope. And then look how much overstock this Walmart has. It's not just Monster High. I mean, it is a lot of Monster High, but you can see there's also Rainbow High and some other OMG products in there. So whoever's ordering at the store is doing a terrible job because they're ordering way too much product. Okay, so those were all the stores that I visited. I only ended up buying Bratz Girls Night Out dolls, which those were what I was looking for, so I'm very excited and very happy. I did find all of them. So here's Chloe. I got her at Dee Dee's Discounts, which I never really go to, but someone on Reddit posted that these are being found there. So thank you for that tip off because yeah, I hadn't seen Chloe anywhere else. She was the only one there, so I didn't get to like pick her out or anything. But I still think she looks pretty good. I hope there's no glare on her box. Like, watch there be tons of glare. But I don't know. She's one of my favorites. And I never picked these up when they were in store because they're a little bit expensive. I think they were like $35 or $36. And they've been showing up at like Ross and Dee Dee's discounts for $15, which I think is a lot more reasonable. And I think they're really fun and nice. They have beautiful, beautiful, intricate hairstyles. Here is Jade. I got her from Ross, as you saw, and I was able to pick out a good Jade. There was 4 of them, and she's one of my favorites. She looks so good. And I love all of the fashion they come with. I think they did kind of get some of their accessories and like fashion cut a little bit. I think they lost one of their outfits, if I recall correctly, when these got reproduced. So whatever. I'm pretty happy though that I was able to find all of them except Dana. So yeah, there is Jade. And then I found Sasha. She was the first one I found. And oh my god, she also looks amazing. I love her hair. They have really intricate hairstyles. So at least for a couple of them, I was able to pick out like the best ones in store, you know? And ooh, she might be my favorite. Her and Jade, I think, are my favorite. And then lastly is Yasmin. I think Yasmin's probably my least favorite, but I still think she looks pretty good. So even saying that is kind of rude because I still think Yasmin looks pretty nice, so I can't really complain. But yeah, I found all of these for $15, and I'm very excited. I'm kind of hoping that Loki, Pretty, and Punk shows up in the future at discount stores because I never picked up any of those either. And I'm a very, very, very casual Bratz collector. I like Bratz, but I'm not like actively seeking them out, you know? Just depends. But I really like them because I love their fashion and I love to steal their fashion for Monster High. So don't tell anyone, but like that's my favorite thing really to do. And the dolls are nice, but I don't really feel inspired by them the way I do Monster High. Like I love Monster High and like customizing them, and I don't know, I feel like so inspired with Monster High. And Bratz, like I like them, but I never really do that much with them beyond like maybe a hair restyle or two, you know? So all that being said, I know I'm not trying to trash Bratz. I do like Bratz dolls, but they're not my like go-to bread and butter. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, cool. Now let's move on and I'll show you some of the doll customs that I've been working on. Okay, so here are the 3 dolls that I customized this past week, and they're all sort of customized to varying degrees, some a lot more intensely, like Draculaura, who I did a reroot and painted a lot of her accessories, and then Caddy was just kind of like finessing her hair a little bit and also painting some of her accessories, and then Lagoona was really just her hair. So because she was the most simple one, I'm going to start off with her. And I hated the curls I had given her previously, and I watched one of Peace, Love, and Plastics videos where he did, I think, Lagoona and Claudine's hair for Monster Fest, and he's just so good at doing doll hair and curls in particular, so I followed his tutorial, and it does work. Do you see these curls? Okay, I was not getting these curls before I watched his video. I just didn't have it in me, and I think what definitely helped me was shocking the curls with cold water, and then also taking them out of the straws and like shaping them while they're still wet. Those 2 things like definitely helped, because look at this. I've never had curls like this before, and I'm very proud. So this was with the thinner straws. I do want to try it with like the thicker boba straws down the line, but for now, I'm happy with the way she looks. And it's pretty simple hair restyle. Like I'm not reinventing the wheel with Lagoona here, but that's okay. You know, sometimes simple hairstyles can still be really effective, and I think she looks gorgeous. Okay, next up is Draculaura. Now, I low-key, I'm not gonna like hide it. Like I love this doll, but it's because of all of the work and effort I've put into her. You know, her default doll with like her polypropylene hair is just very, very sad and lackluster. So obviously I had to reroot her, and I will show you the hair. I have the little crown on, which I'll talk about all of the painted details first, and then I'll talk about the rerooting and the hair I gave her. But I painted her flower crown, and you know, if I had to rate how I did, she's so little I have to like hold her. If I had to rate how I did, I'd probably rate the crown like a 7 out of 10. I painted the roses alternating pink and purple. And you're probably wondering like why I chose a purple rose. Well, it's because she has like purple lips and some purple in her makeup. So I wanted to pull some of that out, and it's okay. And then I painted them over with like a pearlescent paint. I have this paint. It's like a pearlizing medium paint, and they look okay. They look okay. I feel like they're okay because the pearlescent kind of ties into a lot of like the shimmer and iridescence in her outfit, but they're not my favorite. And then as for like this portion of the crown, I couldn't quite make out what it was trying to be. And it was kind of giving like metal work, and I was gonna go silver, but I opted to do black, and then I painted over that with my favorite paint ever. I use this all the time. It is the, what is this? Folk Art Dragonfly Glaze. And then the one I used for her crown, it is the, I can't read, Violet Blue Green Shift. And a good tip for these is whatever color is last. So you see there's 3 colors, and you know how green is listed last. That's going to be the most prominent color in the shift. So that's why this piece kind of has some green shift to it. And I also did this mechanism where, let me take it off. I MacGyvered and glued like a crown, like a headband to the crown, so it stays in her head a lot better, because as you saw in my review, this piece kept falling off. So now that I did that, it just kind of like stays in her head a lot nicer and more snug and doesn't fall. So yeah, I feel like that was definitely necessary. This is a Ghoul Spirit Cleo headband, and then you can see I like glued it right there, painted over it, and painted the back portion too. I didn't paint this inside because I didn't feel like I needed to, but yeah, this little headband mechanism, as you can see, it lets it kind of go on really easy, and it sits nice and snug in the hair, and it doesn't fall off. So yeah, I'm creating solutions over here because it really bugged me how this piece just fell off so easily. And then I did paint her guitar very, very reluctantly. Like, I don't even love it. And it was originally like a teal color, like a blue, as you can see. So I kind of wanted to honor that and keep some of the blue to it. I painted over it with this paint, Folk Art Treasure Gold Aquamarine. And, you know, I don't love it. I don't love it. I like this part, though. Like, the bat and the heart is cute. But overall, it's not my favorite. But I was trying to play with it and see if it worked. It is a lot of color going on here. Like, we got blue, we got pink, we got green, we got purple. Like, her color story is a little crazy. But, you know, I may or may not display her with this guitar. I haven't quite fully decided. But I did want to show it since I did put the effort in to paint it. And then her boots. Okay, I also did some stuff on her boots. And I painted this buckle detail with some pink. And then went over it once again with my favorite dragonfly glaze. I don't know which one I went over this one with. I've like lots of them, so I can't remember. But I like the little iridescence on it. And then I also went over the like filigree of the cowboy boots with that same dragonfly glaze. So it just kind of has a little sheen and pop to it. And then I made these like makeshift socks. They're not real socks. As you can see, I just glued some lace together because I'm very crafty. And they kind of sit snug like little socks. And I was inspired by Rainbow High Delilah Fields because she had lace socks with her cowboy boots. So that was my inspo, and I like the look of it. And something funny about the Draculaura doll, the more I've like had her, is she is tiny. She is short. These cowboy boots have like no height to them, and they don't have a big heel. So she just feels like the shortest Draculaura that I own, and it just makes me laugh, like in a good way, because I love how little and short she is. Like, she just feels so teensy and so tiny, and I love her for that. Okay, now I'll talk about her hair. Okay, so I'm just going to share a glimpse of the rerouting process for Draculaura. This isn't going to be a complete and full in-depth tutorial, just bits and pieces. So there I am heating up her head with my hair dryer, and once the head is soft enough, I will yank it off of the neck peg, just being very careful. I always say this, just be very careful. You don't want to ruin your doll and break the neck peg, and yeah, ruin your doll essentially. That would suck. So yeah, be very, very delicate. And then I'm going to cut off all of this gross, nasty, polypropylene hair into the plastic bag. Okay, it's not that bad. I just like to reroot. So, if you keep your dolls with their poly hair, props to you. No big deal about it. I am just very extra and, love giving my dolls fresh, nice saran hair. So, that's just kind of a me thing. But, it's totally cool if you keep your dolls with their poly hair. No judgment or shame here in this community, okay? And then I'm taking a flathead screwdriver and scraping out all of the plugs. And then once they're all scraped up, I will take my tweezers and pluck out all of the hairs from inside the head. And this process can take a while, but you'll get there. And then from here, I am going to tighten some of these plugs. You can kind of see around her center part, her holes for like where the hair went were a little bit widened. So I'm going to heat up some boiling water and just dunk her head in for a little bit to tighten those holes right there. And this kind of just helps with the rooting process, so the holes are a little tighter and the hair just fits in a tad bit more snug. That's kind of how I prefer it, so I like this extra step. And you can kind of play it by ear, see how the head's looking, if the holes need to be tightened or not. It's really up to you, but for this Draculaura, she needed it. Okay, I'm done prepping Draculaura for the reroot. There she is. She looks stunning. And then for the hair colors I'm using, I am obviously going to be using some black hair. This is like leftover, so that's why there's some pink in there. I'm not going to use that shade of pink, but yeah, some black saran hair. And then for the pink shade, I'm going to try to do a color blend of these two colors. So I have Rosemary and Good Karma. And then for the green, I'm going to add green to the hair. I'm going to try to blend these two colors. So we have Limeade and Mellow Yellow. So it'll be fun to blend these. I'm just going to be like, a pop of color here and there. So hopefully it's a pretty smooth process. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and now get started on the reroot. Okay, I have filmed like none of this reroot as far as me, poking hair into the head. I did a lot of the prep work, but I've been kind of hustling and just getting it done. So here's what I've gotten done. Here's what the color looks like. There's like a little pink and green highlights in the back of her head. And then all I have left is the part line. And I don't really know how I want the colors to be because, this doll's like old default hair was just kind of like really thick pink sections in the front. But because these are really thick in the back, I don't really think I want like thick in the back and then thick in the front as well. So I might do like black, pink, black, green, black, pink. Like I might alternate something like that. Kind of like a classic Draculaura moment. So I'm going to do that. Also, I'll do some clips of me blending the hair to give you an idea of what that looks like because, these two pinks I blended to get this pink, and then I blended these two colors to get a more kind of like limey green, that matched the makeup a little better. Okay, now let's get started. So I just wanted to share a glimpse of me rerooting this Draculaura's center part, and I did decide on doing alternating black to pink to black to green and so forth. So I'm going to start off with the black sections. I have sectioned out some hair, and for the part line, I am rerooting it in one hole and then pushing one side to the right and then the other side to the left. And I'll do that same thing with the pink and the green, but first I have to blend them. So I have those two shades of pink, and I'm going to combine two plugs and then blend them by hand using the end of my rat tail comb. This process can take a little while. I maybe go over it like 4 to 5 times until I feel like the color is blended out nicely. And I'll just kind of do it with my rat tail comb, fold the hair over one another and like brush it out. And I just repeat that process. It's a little harder with this pink shade, I'll say, because they are so similar. It's hard for me to tell if I've got a good color blend or not. But just trust the process. And then once I'm done blending out the hair, I will section them back out into 2 plugs and then use that and reroot with that new blended hair color. And then same thing like the black, I'll plug it into one hole and then push one section of the pink to the right, the other section of the pink to the left, and so forth. And I will go back in with black, like I said, because I'm alternating colors here, and then we can begin blending out the green. Okay, so me blending 2 shades of pink for this reroot was a little extra. Like I probably could have just picked a solid flat shade of pink and, not had to color blend them. But because I was blending this yellow and the green, I figured let's just blend some pinks together too and get a custom shade. But this green and yellow color blend was very, very necessary, I think, for this reroot for the specific shade of green that I was looking for. You know, I was looking for that sort of like lime green. It reminds me of like Limited to, you know, the early 2000s, like that pink and green color combo together. I just think looks so good. And thankfully this green and yellow shade, when blended, gave me that perfect result that I was looking for. And that's kind of the fun thing with Saran hair, is you can do custom color blends like this by hand to get your desired color. Because with Saran in particular, compared to nylon, the color options are a lot more limited. So you have to get really creative and crafty. And now that I have those greens blended out, I can continue the reroot, and I'll just repeat this process all the way down until I'm completely done with Draculaura's center part. And I love the end results. It does take some time, like I said, because I'm doing this by hand, but I think it's totally worth it. So I love the hair, and I did something I don't normally do when I reroot, and I cut the hair kind of short. You know me, I love my long, luscious adult hair, but I'm trying to get outside of my comfort zone and trim the hair every now and then. And I do feel like for this Draculaura, it did help and it did make a difference. So I'm glad that I did. I'm just fixing her hair and brushing it out. But there you can see that is the hair length. This is still kind of long, but it's short for me. You know, this is what I settled on. It feels nice. You can play with it and swing it around, and it feels good. And then also, you can't really see from like the front this like back peekaboo section with these like streaks, but they're there, and I know they're there. So that's all that matters. Like, it's a very dynamic, fun hair pattern, even if, you know, you can't enjoy it all the time because it's kind of hidden. You know, there's like a little peekaboo section, and I like this section in the back. It's really nice and colorful, and it's a fun surprise. You know, it's a really fun surprise. So I am tempted to do a hairstyle on her, but because of her crown, I'm probably just going to keep her hair like this, very free flowing, and it's nice and fun. And then obviously the main attraction is the part line that I did. So you can see we have alternating like black, green, black, pink, and so forth. I really like it. I love the way it looks, kind of like just brushed out like this. This is giving kind of Neon Frights, to be honest, as well. Even though Neon Frights was pink and yellow, this pink and green is so nice. I love it, and I'm glad I added some green to the hair. And you can see by doing a custom blend, it's kind of a more yellow green. So I'm very pleased. And the middle part's nice. The hair's nice. I just love it. I love her so much. She was one of my favorite projects I did, and I didn't really want to give her her whole own video because, you know, I'm trying to work fast here. I got a lot on my plate and a lot to do, so that's why she's kind of relegated to this compilation style video, but I still think she shines, and she is stunning and one of my favorites. Oh, and then, yeah, like I mentioned, I gave her a Lone Star's jacket from LOL OMG, so she's a little bit more Western, you know? But there's Draculaura with her gorgeous new head of hair. And then lastly, we have Caddy Noir, who we can't forget. Oh, before I show Caddy off, let me just get Draculaura looking a little right. I'm just brushing her hair the whole video. Okay. Come on, Draculaura. Come on. Okay, let's move her to the side so we can get Caddy center stage. Y'all, I mean, I feel like everyone cannot shut up about this doll, and I don't care. I want to see her everywhere, all over my feed. I get so much joy every time I see someone post a Caddy restyle or something that they're doing, and it's just so fun to see how she's inspiring so many people in the community to play with their dolls and restyle them and customize them. Like, chef's kiss. I love it so much. And this is what I've done to my Caddy. I feel like I've kept it pretty simple, a little tame. I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here. This is going to be my signature Caddy on display. So I'm trying to just keep it pretty tame. You know, I'm not dreaming big yet, but like I said, I'm still happy with what I've done. So if you saw my Caddy Noir review, you saw at the very end of it that I teased the hairstyle that I gave her, and I just wanted to kind of finish it off and finesse it a little bit. So I curled her little like tendrils for her middle part. You're kidding me. Like, do you see this? And the glasses just sit so snug right in between. Like, do you see that? Do you see that? I mean, you don't need them there. It looks good either way, as you can see, and I love the micro braids. I love this high pony. This is a high pony if I've ever seen one. But these curls, I can't. They're beautiful. They're so nice. They just frame her face beautifully and they add so much dimension. You know, you can keep them in the front if you want to kind of do like a little peekaboo moment. You can pull them back. Like, they're very versatile. They also are hairsprayed down, so I have no problem like moving them and touching them. But yeah, I really just like the curls in the front. I feel like they look really good. I did do some subtle paint details throughout. As you can see, I painted the necklace, painted her eye coffin, I painted her nails, and the paint that I'm predominantly using here is this metallic pink. It is my favorite. Let me show you it. It is Deco Art Extreme Sheen metallic paint in pink tourmaline. Oh, it is not focused whatsoever. There you go, pink tourmaline. And found it at Michael's. And I love it. It just looks so good. It's like a perfect match for Caddy. And where I use this paint the most is going to be on her boots. So here are the boots that I did for Caddy. I like the silver boots that I'm seeing, but I wanted to keep, you know, her intended vision with the pink. So that's what I went with. And I painted metallic pink all over them, as you can see. And then did some silver details for like the bottom of the shoe, the chains, the zipper, and then actually I kept the original pink plastic for the like belt details. I don't know, I really like it. I had seen some people do the belts in black and it just didn't really mesh with me for whatever reason. So I kind of was doing like a pink on pink moment and playing into the various shades of pink that this doll has. And I love it. Like low-key, not even low-key, high-key, I love it. And then let me see if I can show you without taking her boots off. But I painted the bottom, the little heart. Do you see that? Do you see that? I painted the heart pink as well because I thought it was so cute. But yeah, I think her boots are my favorite. I just think they look so good. And I didn't do that much to her if you really, really think about it. It's like a hair restyle, some paint details on the boots. Oh, I painted this chain silver, painted the nails, painted a little bit on the phone. Like, it's not that much, but like, she just feels stellar. Like, she feels luxurious and just out of this world. And my favorite doll right now. Like, the obsession is real for everyone. Like, I totally get it. Oh, and then for the silver, I used Folk Art Treasure Gold and Silver. Let me grab it. It is this one right here, Folk Art Treasure Gold in platinum. Sorry, not silver, platinum. This is my favorite type of metallic paint. As you can tell, I just tried a new one too. I like this one, but these are usually the go-to when I'm doing like silver and gold tones. I just love them so much. The silver is beautiful. It is very opaque and it just works really well. And I've seen a lot of people chrome out Caddy's accessories and stuff, and I think the chrome paint is fun. I didn't do that because I couldn't find my chrome paint pens. They're here somewhere. I know they're here somewhere. I just couldn't find them. But if you're not always looking to chrome things out, silver paint honestly works just as well. So don't feel bad if you're just using silver paint. Like, nothing wrong with it. Let's just add the glasses, and there she is. There's Caddy. There's my restyles for the week. I hope you enjoy them. I love them so much. And another project that I'm slowly working on, I'll tease it here. She's also probably not getting her own video. It's just kind of a side project, but I've started an Abby Abominable reroot here. You'll see what she's for, but the white I have is a little yellow toned, as you can see. So not too happy about that, but she's looking good. This is just a teaser. You'll see her eventually in a future video probably, but I just wanted to tease her since that's what I'm currently working on. And I want to talk about her, but she's not done, so she just gets a quick little feature. That's it. Okay, but yeah, that's everything I worked on this week. I hope you like them as much as I do. The reroot was fun. Caddy looks gorgeous. Lagoona got curls. Like, I'm happy. 10s across the board. Okay, next segment. Okay, I hope you liked seeing all of the customs that I've been working on this week. I always like to do, fun things like painting accessories and doll hair and all that stuff. So I hope you liked it. But now I want to talk about some news that's happened this week. And one thing that happened this week was a Mattel Creations Fang Club exclusive sale. So this sale was sent to people's emails if you're part of the Fang Club, and it was kind of advertised as a chance for you to get sold out releases from Mattel Creations, but they didn't exactly disclose which dolls would be part of this sale. They just said that you'd be getting emailed a link at the time of the sale for you to purchase dolls that have been previously sold out. And truth be told, I totally, completely forgot about this release. So I was not there live at Mattel Creations to see it all go down with my own two eyes. I'm just kind of like anecdotally putting together what I've read on the internet. But according to the internet and their experience, what happened was the sale went live, everything sold out in like under 3 minutes, and it was a bust. Which, kind of adds up from what we know for Mattel Creations. Because this is not the first time they have tried and attempted to do a sale like this, essentially, where they're like bringing back past product. So I already knew it was probably going to be lackluster and underwhelming. And all of the dolls that they brought back were dolls that I already own. Like they brought out the Fang Rochelle, Skullector Elvira, and then Jack and Sally. And I already, fortunately, have all three of those dolls. Well, four technically, because it's like a 2-pack, But whatever. I have all of those dolls. And yeah, I wouldn't have needed them either way. But it does suck if you're someone who was wanting to get them at retail price and it was just like, from what I've heard, impossible to get them. So I don't know. These things are very weird. I feel like Mattel Creations sets the bar really high and gets people really excited by like trying to get them to think that they have a chance, and really they don't have a fighting chance because they sell out so fast. My guess is the stock is just really low, and from what people have kind of gathered and pieced together is like these sales are apparently leftover stock through either returns or things like that. So sometimes people think that they're defective anyways, so it's like not even worth trying for them. There's a lot of like murmurs and chatter about these types of sales. Mainly they're negative murmurs, like people aren't fond of them, and I think that's pretty fair. Like I totally forgot because I just had such little expectations in the first place. Now, if it was like advertised, like they're bringing back Couture Draculaura and Pennywise and this, and that, like I'd be hyped and me and everyone else would be live waiting to get those dolls. But I just think it's unrealistic at this point that dolls like that, of that caliber, would get brought back for like a second chance opportunity, just given how long ago they were available and for sale. So I kind of already knew that it wasn't going to be worth my time, and unfortunately it wasn't. But for those of you who were like really hyped for it, I'm sorry that it was a letdown. Yeah, it sucks. Blame Mattel. They do stupid stuff like that. I don't know why. Okay, the next thing on my mind was it was announced, I think just today, that the RuPaul Dragon Queen doll is going to get released. And they gave you like a day's worth of time before deciding if you want to purchase it or not. Actually, I think when it was announced this morning, people already had the Amazon pre-order link. So like it was announced and then almost nearly instantly available for purchase. And I have ultimately decided to pass on this doll. I think it's fine. Like she looks okay. She retails for $55 and apparently she's available on Amazon and Mattel Creations. So, you can get her in a couple places. But I just didn't feel really inspired or in love with the design. I know it's pretty monochromatic black. Like there's not a lot of color going on, and I think that the head looks good. Like I think the face looks good. It's a really unique sculpt. I like the hair, but the contour is very, very bad. It just looks terrible. It looks very ugly. And I don't know. I'm not very picky, as you can tell. I have a lot of dolls, but I am trying to become more selective with which dolls I decide to buy because, I really want them to have a space in my collection and a space in my home for me to enjoy and admire them. And just deciding whether or not I had space for this doll and if I liked her enough to get her, I just felt like I didn't ultimately. So I will be passing on the Dragon Queen RuPaul doll. I do think it's pretty cool, for like Pride release to do RuPaul. But even though I watch Drag Race, I don't really feel like, I don't know, in love with RuPaul enough for me to be like, I need this doll, And if the design were a little bit better, it would probably nudge me in that direction. But the design just doesn't really make me feel much. It just feels a little drab, which I hate to say because I would like to buy her, but I'm not going to just buy a doll because she's new and then I feel obligated. Like I never feel obligated to buy any dolls. If I don't like you, I don't like you, and I just don't like that doll. But if you do, all the power to you. Hope you enjoy her, and I'll be keeping an eye out for those reviews and videos so I can watch them and see if I made the right choice or not. So we shall see. And then last thing I want to talk about is there are tons and tons of new G3 releases on the horizon that I'm so excited for. The UK has already gotten Skulltimate Secrets Series 4 at Smith's, and I love seeing the dolls early. I think we haven't seen Draculaura yet, but that's fine. We'll see her eventually. But I'm just so hyped for that release. Like, I am patiently, actually, I'm not patiently, I am like desperate for them. I want them so badly. I think they look so good, and obviously I'm going to reroot them. So I already have plans brewing and cooking up for those videos, so stay tuned. And then Australia got the Fear Book line for G3 early. So it's just been really fun to see like all these places across, you know, like globally across the world get certain dolls first. Like the US got Caddy first, and then Australia's got Fear Book, the UK's got Smiths. Like, it just feels fun to have all of these releases like dispersed so everyone can kind of share in that excitement, and it just kind of feels like it helps unite us as a community a little bit, especially because sometimes, you know, being in the United States, we kind of get the reputation that like it's all about us, like we're the center of the world as far as like dolls go. So I personally like this rollout where, you know, different places are getting dolls first and we can kind of see collectors share them. It feels really fun and special, and it gets me hyped especially for these new releases, because Fear Book looks amazing. I want Torla and Twyla especially. Draculaura looks just like whatever. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun seeing all of these new things. They just make me super excited, and I wanted to just share, you know, a glimpse of my excitement with y'all before they come out, because I cannot wait personally. Okay, well, that is all of the fun stuff I have to share with you today in my doll collector weekly recap. I really like these types of videos where I can kind of just go off on tangents about different things happening in the doll world, and it's kind of fun to look back at this week and see like what's happened, because a lot can happen in a short amount of time. I'll tell you that much. Well, that is all I have time for today. Thank you for hanging out with me and letting me talk about dolls. It's my favorite thing to do. And my name is Eli. This is my channel, Draculaura. I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye.